Producer, am I good? We're good. Yep.
Cheers
Okay.
to episode 71.
Cheers. 71.
Snoop Dogg, Doggy Dog, wine.
Is it good?
It's really good.
Wow.
It's below average.
Wrong.
No. Anyways, Evan.
I have
anything.
water.
Yeah.
Got super dehydrated today, so I'm trying to hydrate up.
First day at the course.
Yep.
How'd that go?
I'm gonna beat me like a dead horse.
Oh.
I had a shovel in my hand all day.
Oh.
Digging your own grave.
Yep.
Burying dead bodies.
Correct.
Water for you too, Alex?
I don't have anything.
Oh. Naked.
I'm naked, yeah. About to take my shirt off.
Your sweat stained shirt.
Welcome.
Just
welcome.
creamsicle colored.
Welcome into the number one sports podcast in Michigan. The date is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. It's 8:09 p.m. And we're back. The boys are back
We're
on a
back.
proper Zoom call. It's been a while since.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We did those
talked.
weird, awkward ones last week.
Yeah, how was that for you guys?
I hated every second of it.
It was kind of weird talking to ourselves. I don't know.
I did not listen back to that pod, and I don't want to. It's probably really awkward and weird.
Because Evan held you accountable and you owe the group. You owe a lot
shat.
of people in your life poops on surfaces.
I owe
Yes.
my dad
Yes, you do.
a crap on his couch, and I owe you guys a couple poops.
No,
Yeah, you actually have to break into a house in East Lansing and go dump on the living room floor before you
Oh.
die.
What was that one for?
Oh, when Rocco Lombardo led the Spartans in the big house during COVID and beat Michigan.
I said I'd dump on the floor there, too.
You said
Wow.
you'd dump all over the floor in front of 30 people if Michigan State pulled off the upset.
Wow.
Which at the time felt like you'd be safe because they were 20-point dogs.
It's weird that everyone wants to see me dump on the floor.
Do we want to see it? We just
No,
like
we don't.
accountability.
Evan does want to see
You can't just be saying things and saying,
Oh, behave.
I'm going to do this, and then you'll never do it.
Right.
Well, Evan, it's because I say those things when it's incredibly improbable. And then
we
it
just gave you
happens.
three situations. so
Well,
I don't think
Alex, it's
improbable.
actually
I would say it's unbelievable.
to play the Michigan State Devil's Advocate. It's actually happened 10 of the last 14 years. How improbable is it?
Correct.
Well, they were ginormous underdogs in that.
That's
the
how
other
you
one
boom
was
yourself.
Michigan State Baylor, and they were down 21 points in the fourth quarter or something. So I thought that was very improbable as well.
And the last one was just drafting a wide receiver
Trading up
after
for Jameson Williams. Yeah, I didn't. That one might have not been my best judgment.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're on live stream. Sometimes you freak out.
Yeah, there's a lot of panic going on in that room.
All right, to preview the show, weekly check-ins should be good as always. And then I don't know if you noticed, but our sports teams stink bad. Like think about some of your worst nights of farts when you trap yourself in a Dutch oven of blankets and you release that smell. That's the state of our sports town right now. And so since we're not in the playoffs, like you guys realize one of these years, one of these shows, we'll be able to like break down game 2 of a series. Game 3, we're going back to LCA, home field advantage, home court advantage. We don't have any of that because our teams absolutely stink. And it's been 4 teams, 6 years without even a playoff win. So one day we'll get to that level during this time of the year. But right now, we're just going to do a overall state of our sports teams, including the college teams too, since those teams are actually somewhat competent. And we're going to run through that. And then also some listener questions that have been submitted throughout the last couple weeks. Some more funny ones and then some ones that are related to sports as well. So that's what you can expect from us for the weekly check-ins. I got a lot of bullet points because it's been a while since we've all really talked to. I mean, we saw each other, but it's been a while since we've got to properly do a weekly check-in. So would anyone like to start?
No.
Go ahead, Gillen.
Yeah, Alex.
So
Come
how
on.
far do I have to go back here to Tuesday? So Wednesday and on. All right. Thursday, I went and saw Doctor Strange.
I still haven't seen that yet.
I was mean to ask you about that.
No spoilers because
No
I haven't
spoilers.
seen it.
I'm going to see it Friday. After
Iron
work.
Man
I have
dies.
to.
Yep, you're gonna have to get on that, Evan.
How good is it? The latest release
Practice Friday.
in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Are we talking elite movie here?
I'll just wait to say anything until Evan has seen the movie. But went with a buddy, Ben B, not Ben V. Good times, Imagine, great theater. Really love that place. Full theater. Only comment was I had this one lady and her husband were right next to us.
Kissing.
They had beers when they walked in.
Oh, that's
they
kinda
sit
sweet.
down, and this lady's like just rubbing her body around the chair. I am just so snuggled in and so comfortable, and just the entire theater can just hear her just screaming about how incredibly comfortable she is in her seat.
Don't ruin her moment.
Okay, and then the movie starts, and there is one scene. I won't go talk about it, but she just started flipping out, audibly freaking out loud, and then a clapping, and it was the most absurd thing I've ever seen. And that was the only negative of the movie.
So right in the middle of the movie too.
This was a very big scene. She was flipping her shit.
Yeah, I think someone's got to tie her hands up in that instance if you're clapping like that in the middle of the theater.
Yeah. This dude next to me looked at me and just started shaking his head. And he's you could tell he was what is going on?
I can picture your ass too. You look back and let's go beat her up.
No, I was fine because it wasn't the kids that were throwing popcorn at Ben and I last time. That was
It was
worse.
somehow I magically avoided, and I was so locked in on the Batman.
Yeah. So yeah, good movie. Saw that Thursday. Friday, nothing. Didn't do anything. Saturday, descended upon East Lansing as the entire squad did. Ended up back at Rick's again, even though I was retired. Just keep coming out of retirement every time I go there.
I have a comment about Rick's.
No, let's hear it.
I've never been in a worse smelling bar in my life.
Did it smell?
What?
Like I said, I was getting to the point where I might have had a bit too much.
I think we all got used to it after a while, but when we walked down the steps of Rick's, it smelled like the Detroit Lions Ford Field bathroom stall. It was disgusting.
Like the Mike concert parking garage?
Like the NGM staircase in Detroit, Faster Horses portable bathrooms. It smelled so bad in Rick's, and then it kind of your nose got used to it and it wasn't as bad. But I don't know who's peeing in the stairwell at Rick's, but please stop. Never do that again. That was so disgusting. I almost threw
Evan,
up,
can you
and I
confirm
was
this?
pretty sober.
I didn't notice it.
Okay. It seems like a Grant thing. I don't think I entered the bar with you guys. So
I think we all mentioned it
did see
when
this
we walked.
reaction.
I think we all mentioned it when we walked in, and then we all just got used to it. And then your nose. Shout out to the nose for being resilient and it just adjusts. But it smelled so bad.
Oh.
Rick's for that.
All right. I guess it smelled bad. Yeah. Also went to Fieldhouse before that. It's incredibly packed. Just couldn't even move to try to get drinks. And then you guys got a table, so then I guess it was all right after that. But
Yeah, how did that even happen? Were you part of that?
I was
Evan?
wondering that too.
Yeah,
Who
we were
got that
standing
table?
over there, and people just got up and left. These two girls.
Mm.
One of them got up and went to the bathroom and came back, and she was getting escorted by security.
Oh,
When she was coming back, and then she sat down and they're like, "No, you two got to leave." So they got up and left, and we swooped in and took their table, and then the police got involved when they were outside.
oh wow.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, the lights came. You could see outside through the windows, but the cops came up at the door, and they were talking to these two girls. I don't know what they did, but that's how we got the table.
All right. So yeah,
Shout out to their downfall for us. Yeah.
that did help.
Thank you.
As I mentioned, drank too much probably Saturday. Had a rough Sunday morning at Evan's apartment. Final guy to puke in that bathroom, it sounds like. Unless
You're the
someone does
last
this
one.
summer. Someone could this summer.
Leave any
leave that door open.
any feces on the bathroom floor?
No,
Oh.
didn't poop on the bathroom floor like someone else might have in the past.
Dr. Love.
And then golf league yesterday. Alex's inconsistencies continue. He triples number one for the third straight time. Shot a 42. Okay, I guess when you triple the first hole. And then we took. So this is the part. So this is a Grant move. So we played an 18 handicapper. You know, someone like
As an 18 handicapper just on the
9
front,
holes.
not total. That's not just on 9
holes.
Then I'm much better than whoever that is.
Okay. Well, they then shoot a 50. So a net 32.
A sandbagger.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he was sandbagging, but he shot a net 32. So it's pretty hard to take points in that scenario. But we took 16 out of 30. So fell behind a bit to the leaders that I'm sure Evan will mention.
Evan, you're the leader.
But yeah, that was my my week.
Does the Raisin Valley Golf League, do they denounce the Saudi League that's growing right now, or do they support the Saudi League?
I would say we support it.
Oh, also,
Evan, that's
We're all for paying the athletes.
Also, Grant, you asked if yesterday was going to be like everyone get hammered at golf.
yeah.
You know, it was nice out, but I think it wasn't as nice as everyone assumed because it was pretty windy. So it was decently nippy at the end. And I was coming off a bender, so no drinking for me, really. I had one.
What'd you have?
I had a vodka tonic double.
Did you just do that to like impress your dad?
Nope, he just got them. That's what we've been drinking the last few weeks.
I knew Garrett was at the center of that.
Goes down easier than heavy beer.
Tonic water is so disgusting. It's okay when you mix it with vodka.
It's much better mixed. If you drink it alone, that's the psycho move.
Yep. Locked up. Wonder who invented that. Anyways, Evan?
Let's see, my week. Wednesday. I don't think I really did anything Wednesday.
No shame in that. Pretty boring day of the week.
Yep. Thursday, went out to the bars.
Getting them in.
Went to... Thursday night, I think everybody was out because there wasn't a bar that didn't have a line.
Mm-hmm.
Not as bad as Halloween, but every single bar had a line. Just you had to pick and choose which one you wanted to go to. Ended up at the Riv. Quality time there. I think I was there until the lights came on.
Ooh,
yes.
Close her down.
Oh my gosh. Was that Thursday night? Yep. Yes, it was. Yeah, so Thursday closed it down. Did a thing that I fully regret. No. It's basically a 2. It's a cottage and pizza.
Oh, different kind
I'm
of
standing
You've
in line.
said on this podcast how much you hate it.
Yes. I was standing in line with my friends. Just, because I have nothing else better to do. This dude comes out to me. He's like, hey, man, can I ask you something? I thought he was about to ask me something like deep personal life story. He's like, man, can I cut you in line? I'll pay you $5. And I was like, yeah, sure. And he's like, what's your Venmo? It actually pays me $5.
Nice
I was like,
guy.
well, that's free money, so I might as well get a pizza now. He's got a plain cheese pizza. And then I think I walked all over campus after that. Walked back.
Alone? Or
No.
like walking with people.
Half of the time I was alone.
Okay.
I was walking with a group of people, and then I got to where they were staying, and I said, yeah, I'm not staying here. Then I just left. Carrying my pizza, got back. It was super late. It was miserable. Lonely walk, but, it had to be done. That was Thursday. Friday helped Luke with his car.
What's wrong with his car?
Alex, are you looking at Joel Embiid right now?
Yeah, he's like crying on the court. I'm sorry, I was super distracted.
Yeah, Joel Embiid just broke his face again. This guy can't
threw
catch
the
a break.
Good. Screw that guy.
Oh, Evan, I don't know if you want to be
Ooh,
saying that
Evan.
right now.
Joel Embiid.
I was just saying he's in tears right now.
Crying. Like
No one
sobbing
likes him
on the court.
Don't have a concussion. Don't have to worry about it. He had a flat tire. I had to go get it fixed at Goodyear across town. Had to do that. Then I left.
What, he hit a pothole?
He thinks he hit a nail when he drove to the partake in the draft. Had a nail in it. Driving on Detroit roads, you know?
Yeah. It's been known to happen.
Yep. That's what I did Wednesday. Just hung out. And I had to drive Luke to his exam because he found out he had a flat tire. I hung out at the hot tub, drank at the hot tub.
Oh.
All coming back to me now. So Wednesday drank, Thursday drank, Friday
Drank.
did not drink. I was back in Tecumseh. Had to get up Saturday for a doubleheader. Won both of those games easily.
2.
Yep, it was nice. Very nice.
You listen to that, Tigers? You hear that? That's how you do that.
That's how we win.
Frauds.
The other team we played, they were not that good.
They are the Tigers.
Yeah, you could say. And then Saturday afternoon, celebrating 80th birthday for my grandpa.
Congrats.
And then went to East Lansing and just started drinking. That was quality time. I think I was more hydrated than somebody else in this
We've
podcast.
already gone over it, okay? I got too drunk. We've gone
I don't
over
think
it.
you were hydrated enough. I think if you were as hydrated
I didn't eat.
as
I
was,
didn't eat anything. That was on me.
I was downing food at the party. It was awesome. Yeah. Saturday night was really fun. I enjoyed that last hoorah.
Yep.
And then Sunday, just sat there and talked to Alex until noon, made a fantastic breakfast, and then went and graduated on Sunday afternoon.
Nice.
I walked at graduation. That's what I should say that.
Yeah, Grant, Evan and I had a super depressing, hour-long conversation on Sunday.
Oh,
just about how life is over.
Miserable.
Yeah,
It was miserable.
What
Even
is-
worse than that was like Monday moving out.
Oh,
I
my
was
God.
carrying my stuff across the parking garage, just like
Alone.
turned back and looked and like, well, this is it. Yeah, I
We'll be
moved
back.
out myself by itself. Yeah, it stunk. The fact that we'll never live in East Lansing again.
No, I wouldn't rule it out.
No, I mean, and also, 9 to 5 life is so sweet, and it's even better than college.
So
Yeah, but I'm so good with Grant. Partying from noon to 2 is also fun.
Yeah, it is.
Day drinking on campus is fun. Being part of St. Patrick's Day is fun.
Oh, I was
Tailgating your
completely
face off
joking.
is
It's the
fun.
worst.
PTO.
It's the worst. There's nothing worse than the transition into no more college. It is the worst.
God.
It's
And
about
honestly,
the
Evan,
darkest period in your
it's
life.
extremely selfish of you because we were living through you, and
True.
we're relying
Well,
on
that's
that.
what I said to him. I was like, now my college days kind of officially ended because yours ended.
We're
they
about
haven't
we're about 2 to 3 years from stepping on East Lansing's campus and I don't know, old man alarms going off when we're back. We were still able to pull it off, and we're getting dangerously close to being fully washed.
No, we can still pull it off. We got at least 3 years.
You're gonna be
Depending how
That
we
year,
age.
that third
physically.
year.
I don't.
That third year is going to be when
I don't
it's gonna
think
hit.
being 28 years old and those
Well,
situations
Evan, how old's
is
your
gonna go
brother?
well.
How old's Hunter?
94. His birthday's in July.
So he's 28.
He doesn't go to the bars with us in East Lansing, from what I've seen.
No, but I'm just thinking if you saw Hunter at a... You can cut his name if you want. But if you saw him at a bar, you would be like, oh, yeah, that guy's same age as us.
Depends
You wouldn't
on
think
what-
that
depends on
he
what
looks
bar.
35.
I would.
Depends how we age physically. I think we all look young.
If I saw Hunter at Rick's, I'd be like, dude, I don't know.
Well, Rick's should have been retired anyways.
Yeah.
That's for 15-year-olds.
I was gonna say something off of Evan's graduation, but I completely forgot.
Congrats.
Oh,
I did say congrats.
my graduation. Hour 30. Boom. In and out. Get out. It was
No speaker.
fantastic. No guest speaker. President wasn't even there for attendance. Just had some assistant to the dean of students.
So they didn't give an
Sitting up
F
there.
about your graduation.
I could care less. There was 400 of us in there. for my college of education group or whatever.
At the Breslin, right?
Yep, they spoke and then started rattling off names. The next thing, she's like, "Well, thanks for coming out." Boom, over with. I was like,
Hell yeah. You'll take that.
I was
Good
ready
little
for that.
photo
Went
shoot
to-
after.
Yeah, I had to get some photos in.
Oh,
It wasn't really
yeah.
that big of a deal, you know. I
Climb
didn't really want to
Sparty.
walk all over campus to take
Got the
pictures either.
mommies of Tecumseh all commenting on
Oh
Facebook.
yeah, yeah. They've been blowing up my phone recently. Those DMs are flying open. I've been saying
Yeah.
one at a time. They're scheduling appointments basically to see me now.
Yeah. Everybody's hot on the Facebook streets this week.
Got to go to Crunchies for dinner, and I had one of the best burgers you'll ever eat in your life.
I don't
How many
believe
times
you.
you had this burger?
I've had it the last 4 times I've gone there.
The brat burger.
Correct. It is fantastic. It is so good.
I find it hard to believe that just a
No.
brat and patty form is the greatest burger.
No, it's a brat patty form with grilled onions and peppers on top, and then a homemade mustard sauce on a pretzel bun.
This would be a good twister people's brains for the whole is a hot dog a sandwich debate, because sounds like a sandwich, but it's technically a bratwurst.
It's in a patty form.
It's a
Better
burger.
than Five Guys, if you can even compare it to that, because it's a bratwurst.
Oh, it's better than Five Guys.
Okay.
The flavors are better.
Oh.
And then Monday had golf league. Played kind of crappy for 3 of the 9 holes, so it ballooned my score up. Started. I think, what did I start with?
I think you also
let's just put
tripled
this.
one.
Yes, I did, because I
Lot
hit
of
it into
triples
the
on
pine
one.
tree. Yeah,
a lot of
and
triples.
Alex said, "Good shot, man!" Right after I hit it off the tee. I was like, "Wow, thanks,
I hit
man."
mine out of bounds. Also.
I did something I've never done in my life before. I 4-putted on number 2.
Jeez, man.
When I was lining up for the third one, I was just so mad already that I just hit it and it came up 2 inches short. Story of my life.
My God.
But we bounced back. Still took 18.5 out of 30, so still in first place. I played 2 of the 4 weeks that we played, so is it really my fault? No.
Smart. Deflect.
Well,
but
they're
we're
in
in
first,
first.
so he can't take any credit for being first, is what he's saying.
Oh.
Shout out
Well,
Cody.
Then don't deflect. Let's see. I had a little bit of golf too, but not playing. First range session of the year this weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah. Pretty good overall. Probably the best first range session I've ever had.
Tiger Woods.
It's not saying a lot, but just less duffs than in past years.
Oh, I was about to ask, any duffs?
Like 1 or 2. Topped 1 or 2.
Marissa took one video of Grant, and apparently that's the one he just chunked into the blade.
Yeah. And you'd like to be like, oh, Grant just can't handle the pressure. I didn't know she was recording, so it was organic. Did any of you guys listen?
Orgasmic.
No. Did any of you guys listen to the Jack Harlow album that came out this weekend?
No,
Yeah,
but
no.
I've heard lots about it. Plan on listening to it at some point.
Pretty trash, which
Oh.
led me to the thing. It's kind of it's a feeling everyone can relate to, is that whether it be a movie like the Marvel series or your artist, the feeling of when something new drops is so exciting, but the letdown if it's bad is one of the more crushing feelings you can have as a fan of something, and that's what I experienced. So, that's just one of the more relatable things I would say. It just sucks. So brace yourself.
So it was that bad?
Yeah, it just wasn't really anything. And
Just because
no
of the
new
one
songs.
song he dropped that was on the album early, that glamorous remix was good. Everyone liked that.
I didn't like that one either, so that I wouldn't even put that in there. The only song I think I liked one song off the entire album, and it was released way before the album came out. All the new stuff was just eh. But hopefully, you hate to see that out of an artist you really like, so hopefully better days are ahead. Cinco de Mayo, we haven't mentioned that yet. That was this week, so that played a lot into. I made some phenomenal margaritas with Marissa on the actual Cinco de Mayo. Got carried away. I was like, let's just make some margaritas. Let's just do this right. And they were pretty good.
That was Thursday, wasn't it?
Yes, was the 5th.
Oh, I made a great dinner for myself, and I was so bloated that I felt disgusting drinking beer and going out to the bars. My stomach was so full.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think I've ever celebrated Cinco de Mayo in my life.
Oh, you're missing out, man.
I made cilantro lime rice, had a little avocados on the side, and then I had a big old fat burrito.
You made Chipotle burritos yourself.
I did not make a Chipotle burrito. It was a freezer burrito that I just threw in the oven.
I could not
Well,
have
jazzed it up with stuff on top of it.
Got it.
I had the pork Frio tacos from Brody Calf for Cinco de Mayo dinner.
Whoa.
I'm sure that went well.
Did you get outside of the calf before having to go into the restroom?
I really did. I don't know what it was. Probably more alarming for my stomach that it didn't run through me, that it's used to stuff like that, but I didn't really have any problems. Now, I made some Mexican street corn the next night, and let me tell you, that showed up the same way it went down in the toilet. that happened for sure.
Body can't process it.
Yeah. Body cannot process corn.
Kentucky Derby, I lost on that again, so to continue my run of never winning on the Derby in my entire life, so good to know some things never change. This year I only bet on 3 horses. 1 year in college, senior year, I think I bet on like 10 out of the 20 and did not hit a single horse. So I know nothing about horse racing, and no one really does, because the horse that wasn't even on most boards won the thing.
Rich.
That happened.
80 to 1.
I have a movie recommendation, pretty solid.
Oh, hold on. Let me get my list out so I can put it down.
Secretariat.
Seabiscuit.
Just had to go back and watch it. No. It's with Miles Teller and then another girl who I didn't know, but I recognized her. It's called Two Night Stand. I think it's through Amazon Prime right now is the channel. It's pretty a solid rom-com. I like Miles Teller, so that's going to bump it up for me. It was pretty funny. It wasn't as corny as I thought most rom-coms are. It was enjoyable, and if someone put it on again, I'd watch it.
Good to know.
I had Rick's,
added to the list.
I had Rick's down there. I already talked about that. I have a very embarrassing story to tell that of something we've talked about before on this show. I broke back out. You know, because you're on your feet all weekend. This weekend was pretty physically active, and then went out to the bars.
Oh my God.
So the heels were getting pretty tough and like rock-like. So I brought out the cheese grater that we talked about with the foot cheese.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
like early on Monday, and I was just going hard on my heel. Cheese was falling left and right. Tell me when you want less Parmesan, basically, like I was a waiter at a restaurant. And my hand slipped, which means the cheese grater slipped onto my ankle, and I couldn't stop, and I started shredding my ankle for 3 strokes and was just bleeding because there's not really like skin there to take off. So I had blood dripping from my ankle in the shower.
God, it's terrible.
Had to Band-Aid it up and get it up, and then it like Band-Aid came off in the night, and so I had like dried up blood stains down by my feet on my white sheets, and then blood stains on my white shoes. So I've just been cleaning blood out of white products for the last day, and it's tough to explain how it happened, but I'm telling you guys and everyone that listens how it happened.
Gross.
Yep. We don't need to linger on that. Last 2 things. One sports, one non-sports. We don't talk enough about how elite Tootsie Roll fruit chews are. Those things are phenomenal, and you never have them anymore as you get older. And I was at a grocery store that had some, and I got like a bag full of them, like 45 to 50. I probably ate 40 of them over the weekend, and they are so delicious. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Never had one.
I think I'm looking them up.
So
I've had Tootsie Rolls that
Right.
are chocolate. I've never
Right.
had a Tootsie Fruit Roll. Ever.
So it's the same consistency, but they come in a vanilla, in a blue wrapping, a lemon, a green,
I know what you're talking about.
I know what they
orange,
look like. I've just never
a
had.
cherry.
I've never
Damn
personally bought them.
Have you had them
Yes,
before?
I know.
Evan?
Yeah, I have had them before. Yes.
Yeah, they're so good. Because it's like the Tootsie Roll. Like, I like the Tootsie Roll the way it's made. I don't like chocolate ones that much because it's just the same flavor over and over again. But when you introduce the fruit flavors, you can just have variety all night. Alex, we're going to need you to try them. Probably live on the show at some point.
I'm
give you a
not going to
review
go to the store and buy them.
of each flavor.
You don't go to the store anyways. You make people do your own shopping.
Wow.
What? What do you mean?
Wow.
You pay for your groceries and then you just sit in your car and they just bring them to you and you just open your trunk.
No, I haven't. I stopped doing that a long time ago.
Oh.
He was just scared of the pandemic.
Yeah, I was afraid of COVID. But now I go into Kroger, not Meijer.
And then lastly of the weekly check-ins, got my heart broken by Manchester City. That happened right after our last recording. But good news is we just signed the next Messi and Ronaldo by the name of Erling Haaland, and I cannot wait to watch him score 40 goals a year for the next 8 years in the Powder Blues. So shout out to them for tricking my brain into not being sad anymore and just selling myself on hope.
Big game for Tottenham this week. Shout out Dr. Love.
Dr. Love.
Huge.
Thursday, Arsenal. Top 4 spot on the line.
Kind of boring for your team, Evan. You're just kind of in the middle ground. Oh, no, you guys have that. Aren't you guys in the FA Cup final?
I
believe you played Liverpool.
No idea. I gave up after we started watching. We got eliminated from Real Madrid.
Yep.
Can relate. Got a new owner.
That's right. I kept seeing that.
Got a new owner. Yes.
The bag.
We had to find a new owner within the next month, and so it basically just ramped everything up. The UK government was all over our butts for it. They said the whatever the fees or whatever's got to get processed within a month, and so it kind of just pushed it. Like 2 days later, boom, we had a new owner. He's a part owner for the Dodgers and Rams and somebody else, and he just came over here and bought him.
Cool.
All right, weekly check-ins. That felt good. Especially this is what you have. We have half-hour check-ins when our sport teams are absolute. So speaking of that, let's hop into it. And I was thinking as I made this transition, what sparked in my brain to do the state of our team's State of the Union address, and it's because of the Tigers. I mean, the Tigers for the last 2 weeks have been atrocious, and it continued today. And you'd be like, well, they won one. Yeah, they lost. They're losing the series so far to the Athletics, who are trash. But we are trash, so that makes sense. And I was just thinking, and it happened to me last year, because when you watch the NBA and NHL playoffs, you just think about, wow, these games are awesome. I'd love to have a team I actually care about, like truly care about in these games, and it doesn't happen. So here we are, talking about the doom and gloom of our sports teams. And I think this can be fun. I think we can hop around. We don't need to stick on one team. If you have a thought on a team, you can say it, and if it reminds you of another team, you can transition into that. But we'll basically touch on all of them at some point here briefly, and just give our thoughts of where we're at, what we think needs to happen, what's exciting. So it's pretty wide open, I would say.
Okay, first, the Tigers are bad because nobody on the team besides 3, 4, I would say probably 2 now, have a comparable batting average in the Major League Baseball. And we are like basically bottom third in a lot of categories. The sophomore slumps for Baду and Haas. Candelario's good year last year. Somebody's Tiger to look for this year has stunk.
Feels bad.
Alex, I remember you talking about him preseason. Was that you?
I thought he had a chance to be better. Yeah, sorry. That was a bad take.
We had the same exact record going into today as we did last year. So are we better? No. Runs. This was before going into today. Runs were 29th in the league. Home runs, 30th in the league. Slugging, 30th in the league. OPS, 27th. WAR, 28th. And I don't know the WRC plus, 21st.
Whatever that is.
Things like wins, runs, traded. I don't know. We're not stats. We're not an advanced analytics podcast. We stink at hitting. It just basically just sums
up our like
horrible hitters,
the hitting and why we stink. Well, shout out to the guy that we tweeted about. He can stop drinking, but there could be an asterisk. So technically, it was a road game. The Athletics were home team for the first game because it was a makeup game. Kind of weird situation there. Tarek Skubal looked good again. He's probably our best player right now out of anybody. So there's a small bright spot.
Bullpen's been pretty good. Fulmer blew it finally, but he was on a really nice tear for a while.
So Soto blew it when Candy tied it up against Houston.
All right, we're not a perfect team. We're just one of the worst teams.
We suck. I'm so tired of watching.
I'm boycotting.
I'm so tired of watching this organization play baseball for the last 7 or whatever years it is. It's disgusting.
I can't take it.
I can't take it.
There was so much hype preseason and like the first series.
The first game. Just that first game.
The first game, you had Cabrera's 3,000th hit, and then now it's just been downhill since then. To where there's so much build up in preseason, like we want to be good, but it took us until not even halfway through May to already be out of the playoff race, basically.
We're done. We're not making the playoffs. I hope this clip comes back to bite me, but it's not going to happen. I think it's like a less than 1% chance via any of the advanced stat websites that exist out there.
The only good thing is like our division stinks, to where like we're comparable teams, and so you never know. But we're
butt.
12,
We're
13
butt.
games up.
We are a butt.
From 500.
We are a clown franchise in that state. And we'll touch on long-time listener, long-time friend Ben V's question. He wants to know the root cause of the Tigers' inability to compete. Is it the individual players, AJ Hinch, Al Avila, or ownership? Year 7 of a rebuild with little success on the field.
We answering this now?
Yeah, might as well do it now.
Avila and ownership.
Yeah.
Got to start.
I agree with you.
Top.
And it is crazy. I see a lot of people, enough that I'm bringing it up, people in comments, because I don't know about you. The one fun thing is to go onto the Twitter account of the Tigers every time they post the final box score and read all the replies. There's like 250 replies per loss at this point. People just airing out all their frustrations. And there's some people saying, like, what do you want? Al Avila to swing the bat for the players? No, I just want him to find competent players and not and trade away our superstars in 2017 for absolute doormats out there. I mean, I think this is a take I heard first from Chris Castellani, so I'll give him credit, but it was a fantastic point. He goes, we traded away some big time names. JD Martinez, notably. Castellanos, notably. We have no superstars. We do not have a single superstar on our roster right now. And you look at the sport of baseball, and he used the Blue Jays as a good example because they were rebuilding around when we were. They have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. They have Bo Bichette. They have guys that can swing a baseball bat out there that don't look like just kids playing wiffle ball when they're 5. We don't have anything. We have nothing. We are bad.
And probably fire our hitting coach.
Yeah.
Should probably fire everybody.
Would you do something?
AJ
Well,
Hinch.
no. I like AJ Hinch.
Yes,
I like
Sorry.
AJ Hinch.
Keep him. We keep him.
There was a tweet I saw. Maybe I should pull it up. I think we've done this before, but I just want to hammer it home because this is like for the Avila truthers to just get it in their thick skull. You imagine if Alex showed up to his work 7 years in a row and just fudged up financial reports and they still kept them. And they're like, hey, man, you're doing a great job. Let's keep this thing going. It's like, you don't
Alex,
get the...
you messed it up again. Auditors hate you. Like
7 years
great job.
is so long. This guy, I'm going to give him credit. At Michael Roosh, it has 9 likes on Twitter. So I was just in the doldrums of the replies. He made a nice Excel spreadsheet of the Tigers' big trades in the year 2017 when we were blowing this thing up. And he put like all the players we got and where they're currently at. And at least 4 or 3 of these guys are retired from the sport of baseball. So we traded Justin Verlander for Jake Rogers, Daz Cameron, and Franklin Perez. We traded JD Martinez, probably the best name on this entire list, for Dal Lugo, Sergio Alcantara, and Jose King. Those guys might as well work at the car wash down the street. Who are those guys? Never seen them in a Tigers uniform. We got our best trade, his best trade. Still not amazing, but we got up. Actually, he probably won this one. He traded his son and our closer. I forget his first name, but his last name was Wilson because we had multiple.
Justin Wilson.
We got Heimer Candelario and Isak Paredes. So that was like solid return. Probably actually won that trade looking back at it if you think about it.
Because we got Meadows for Paredes.
Yeah. And then you get rid of Justin Upton in 2017. We got Grayson Long. Where's Grayson Long? He's retired from baseball. We got Elvin Rodriguez, who's in AAA. They stink. Cameron Maben got Victor Alcantara. He's in free agency. He doesn't play. Ian Kinsler, we got Troy Montgomery and Wilke Hernandez. Wilke is chugging along in low A Lakeland ball, and Troy Montgomery is retired from the sport of baseball. So you don't get to blow 6 trades and more when you're trying to rebuild a team and keep getting to be in charge. That should not be how that happens, but it ultimately then can go to the owner because that owner doesn't care about this team.
Did you guys see the interview of our owner talking about paying players and stuff, and the whole CBA bargaining drama. Did you see that? It was a while ago. He basically went on this big thing and said that no one really knows what he voted for, and that he is all for the Tigers being good, and that he would love to pay players. And then we watch him just do absolutely nothing every single season. You know, he's not his dad. So I think most of the blame should go on him, actually, because he doesn't want this team to be good. He just cares about his casinos and all the other crap.
Does he own MGM?
I don't know which one.
All right.
I believe
Hopefully
he
not.
has a casino.
I think it's Motor City Casino.
That's fine. Because I was just going to make an MGM. I was going to make an MGM staircase pee smell joke, but we don't have to go there because it's probably not correlated. Well, we kind of set our piece on that. They're just so bad. I mean, and it's very serious to question
Motor
management.
City Casino.
Very serious to question management at this point, like what we've just done the last couple of minutes. You want to tell me you want the top two guys fired? I will not disagree with you for a second. I will hear you out. I think you make valid points. I really don't know. I don't know where this thing goes. It's kind of scary. It's like a no man's land because it was supposed to be more promising. And even if they have the second half like they had last year, it's still probably going to only be good enough for around 500 at best. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen.
Burn it to the ground.
It just feels bad. And we don't have we do have Torkelson and Green. So it's two guys, but like they still have to prove themselves. Like I said, we don't have any star power. No guys are like faces of anything. Still so young in his career. I don't know when this is going to change ever.
Yeah, we suck.
We had the only highlights we had was opening day, Cabrera's 3,000 hit, and that torque bomb couple at bats later. That was basically it for our season.
His torque bomb into Kansas City for winning that game.
Torque bomb Kansas City was awesome as well.
I'm boycotting.
It's just bad. It's really bad right now.
I'm Grant boycotted Butler basketball until Fat to the Bone came into the play. I'm boycotting until the Tigers change something.
They felt me, and they got rid of Coach Jordan. Great guy, just wasn't a great basketball coach.
But Fat to the Bone.
Where do you guys want to go to next?
Red Wings had the draft lottery today. The Red Wings stayed at number 8, didn't move up, didn't move down. We're stuck in Stagnatville with the 8th overall selection in 2022 NHL draft.
Red Wings question for you.
I have an answer. No, I do not want Barry Trotz as the next head coach.
No, wasn't going to be my question.
It'd be kind of funny, though.
Asked
I'd like it for the memes.
On Saturday if next year was our playoff push year, and you said no. So now I'm starting to wonder, are the Red Wings ever going to turn it around as well?
Yes, they will, because...
But why not
the Red Wings? Because it's just like the Tigers, there's still not enough depth and talent on the roster. The defense is still taking like 4 steps backwards. You have one solid defenseman, then everybody else is just butt cheeks. And so like the goaltending isn't going to be as up high because your defense is just below average.
Yeah, and Needle was cheeks this last year, so we need a turnaround from him.
So we're going to suck forever in every sport.
We're not going to suck forever. No, I think the Red Wings are close. Tigers hopefully
we thought the
close,
Tigers were going to make the playoffs, and look how wrong we were there.
I think the Red Wings are close. I do.
I think the town thought the Tigers would play meaningful games this summer, and they're done. That's out the window.
They blew it by May 10th.
They blew it.
What a joke.
They dookied in their pants
yes.
for June. Maybe the lockout wasn't a bad idea.
Should have been longer.
Red Wings, my notes on them. They have ideal management in the sense that Steve Yzerman's running this ship, and Arby, who's one of the best GMs in hockey, and he brought in Lidstrom. He's brought in guys that know hockey, like hockey guys, like you read about, like you talk about, and that is good. Al Avila is not putting his little stubby fingers on the Red Wings front office, so we are okay there. Okay. This is the team in our city who I'm second most bullish on. I feel good things. I can go to bed at night and I can picture Steve Yzerman raising a Stanley Cup as our GM. I can't even begin to think about Al Avila fumbling around the World Series trophy. I can't picture him raising it. But you guys can close your eyes and see Steve Yzerman in a nice fresh suit in LCA raising that trophy. I can see it. It'll happen. Okay, it'll happen. I do think I'll be the more bullish, naive guy. I think they do have a real chance to get in as an 8 seed or so in the playoffs next year, depending on what offseason moves they make. You know, I think they're going to bring up their draft pick from last year, Edvinson, to play some D. They're going to have a nice little D line. Nito will save more pucks than he did last year. Vrana will be fully healthy. Maybe Bertuzzi will be allowed to play in Canada. I sure hope so. And I think that they can win some more games. They were kind of in the mix there in the middle of the year. They just need to have a little bit better stretch. And also, they're getting rid of Blashill, which I thought was a good move. It's not easy having a doorknob as your coach. So I think when we get some more competent people in place, they'll be ready to roll. I feel okay about
agree with all of that. 100% agree with all of that, what Grant said.
I think it makes sense. I agree as well. It just,
I have no idea who we'd sign to help us.
We would have been a little bit better this year. We still had the third worst goal differential in the entire league.
Correct, because our defense.
I thought we would be a little bit better, but we really weren't.
We don't have to watch.
A little worried, but I agree. Al Avila not at the helm. That is very important.
Huge. Probably the biggest X factor in the city right now. You do like a little flow chart of, is that man leading your team?
No.
Yes. No equals have some optimism. I can't tell you what free agents that we should send or sign. I'm kind of curious.
I haven't gotten my hopes up last year.
Are there any guys?
We were so close. We were in the running for Eichel. Yzerman didn't want to give up one of his first round picks. Speaking of the Red Wings, we have 7 picks in the first 4 rounds.
Well, I hope we go defense heavy.
1-1, 2 2s, 1 3rd, and then 1 2 3 4, and then 3 4s.
Okay, I like it.
So we have capital there.
How valuable are 4s in the NHL draft?
It's all about your scouting department. I mean, we hit on Seider because everybody thought, oh, that's way too high for a German defenseman. And look at him. He's the best young defenseman in the NHL. We do have a dynamic duo. Larkin cares a lot.
Star power, right?
He's a leader. He's a captain. I still don't know if he's like the guy that can get you over the hump. Yeah, correct. He's not the guy. He's not like Ovechkin caliber, but he is a great first line. And then Lucas Raymond and Seider are definitely bona fide superstars.
Yeah, like if you have 2 Rookie of the Year candidates that like can kind of make up like 80% star power of like excitement of a reason to watch, and then we're just going to add more to that with some more good rookies. The biggest question I have for the Red Wings, basically for Evan, is where the timing is kind of a little stickier with them, where can they get this thing turned around enough where we can make deep cup runs with Bertuzzi and Larkin as they turn to be like young 30-year-olds? Because I think they're both getting closer to 30. I think they're around 27 or 28, right? So we got to start moving so we can, because those are the core. And if we blow our window and they have to move on, then it's kind of like a mini reset to find more talent to build up.
Larkin's our age, so he's
okay.
Not quite close.
So is it Bertuzzi that's older then?
I'll tell you in a second. But Evan, you can start answering.
I would say if we had to move on from one of them just to get the negative
1995.
out of the way, if you had to move on from one of them, I think Bertuzzi's the liability there because he's not a captain. He's had some, off the ice issues. Injuries have also hurt him. Very talented, but I think there's still NHL's weird where it's a very physical sport, but people play later into their 30s, where still they can produce. If you're producing goals, they don't care who you are. You can find time on the ice. And I think Larkin will still be able to do that. I don't think he's lost a step yet. He is having more surgeries here and there, but I still think there could be enough talent where they're leading the ship.
I agree.
And any guys you like to be our head coach?
I don't know, because I don't think it's going to be a stop and shop guy. I don't think we're going to bring in a veteran guy to only help this team for 2 years and then bring in somebody else. I think the next person we're going to have is going to be somebody that Yzerman agrees with and has probably played with or worked with. So they have the same vision of what the next 2-year plan is and then what's going to happen after that. with free agency, with development of the farm system, with everybody that's currently on the roster. There'll be no butting heads.
The New York Islanders assistant.
Well, the New York Islanders just fired their head coach, so he might be able to just take that job.
The main reason why I think my monkey excitement brain wouldn't want Barry Trotz to be your coach is because the style of hockey they play is like watching paint dry, and I would want just some excitement. I don't want to win 2-1 games. I want to win a 5-4 game. I know it's like not the best idea when you want to have playoff success because Barry Trotz did a lot with a little for the Islanders, but that's like the main reason why I wouldn't want him as a casual hockey fan, because I want excitement on the ice and not some like park the bus mentality defensively and just try to get like one transition goal. That's how Alex's soccer club plays. I don't like that.
No, we play Conti ball now, so watch your mouth.
There was one other thought I had. Oh, I would be very encouraged if Steve Yzerman did make a somewhat splash in free agency to sign a guy I kind of know as a casual hockey fan. But all right, we're doing something. We're making a move. Kind of like how we signed Javi Baez and some guys just to give you that hope. Because I'd like to go into the season with some hope, with also the hope that it turns out better than the Tigers going into the season, because that's always fun. So I'm looking forward to hopefully a somewhat exciting offseason where it's like, okay, they're getting things in place here. We're ready to roll.
And our cap hit should be work now where we're getting away from all these bad signings that Ken Holland had and the guarantee money that we still have to pay. There's some names out there. My initial plan A for Evan, if he was running the Red Wings, Johnny Gaudreau will be an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
He's going to be the prized possession in free agency. He's going to probably demand, I'm guessing, north of $9 million, maybe 10. He's a name to hit. Thomas Hertl. He plays for the Sharks.
John free agent 7. I'm worried we might sign.
Defenseman. So, there's enough players here that you would probably like. You need probably not the older guys.
Like Chris Letang.
Correct. You're not going to sign those.
Well, I hope not, but
it's just a matter if you can hit on these free agent signings that are going to actually like turn your franchise around or get you back in the playoffs.
Hockey, when you said $9 million, hockey contracts are so crazy compared to other sports. Like some guy like Dwayne Dedmon in the NBA probably makes $9 million and it's nothing. But like,
yeah,
and they're like the premier free agent signings getting like $9 million a year, which seems is a lot for the sport. But I don't know. I think our consensus that I feel like is Red Wings they're on the way still. I think they're about to be in year 3 of the rebuild. This was year 2, so we are getting there. We are slowly moving on.
We've sucked since 2015.
Yeah,
but Yzerman comes in, I guess, so changes the rebuild, sort of.
Yeah, like it's Yzerman is the rebuild.
You want a hometown kid, Andrew Kopp, played at Skyline.
I want Johnny Hockey, Evan, and you told me we'd get him last year.
I said my plan was perfect. Eichel demanded a trade, and it was all in running. Get Eichel. You'd have to give up your first round pick. We had the 8th, so we could have had Eichel, signed Johnny Hockey, and then we have one of the best first liners in the NHL. And then we would be at LCA for a Red Wings playoff game.
Yes.
With a
rally towel, sneaking an octopus.
Alex, you would bring in the octopus and throw it on the ice, and you wouldn't pee in the drain and get fired for it.
Yes, shout out that guy.
Else.
The Pistons now. This is the team I am most bullish on in our city.
The
Stoners.
As you were last year, that
Why?
number 1 pick was going to be in the playoffs.
Because of that number 1 pick, it proved to me this year that Cade is the guy. He is the most surefire. Well, I guess Mo Sider will be a superstar, but basketball is a little more intimate.
Pretty good too.
Less players on the court, and they don't wear any masks, any face covering. Cade is the superstar of the city right now. He is the guy. He will be our John Morant. He will be our Devin Booker in a couple of years. He has shown it in year 1, going at the league's best on a pretty with a poopy point guard trying to get him the ball. We have a real chance to get playoff action, as in like a play-in game next season.
About Killian Hayes?
Yeah, I did. Well, he won't have that. Killian will be the 6th man of the year.
Thank you.
So
I'll take that. I'll take that. Thank you. Do not
6th man of the year.
6th man assist guy of the year. Probably not actually winning the award.
Good looking dude.
Yeah, he's got a full sleeve too.
Jalen Brunson's playing his way out of a nice contract that is affordable, so
Guess what? We got bags to unload because we're going to be off Blake Griffin's contract.
But how do you guys
do
we have?
A lot. The most in the NBA going into this offseason.
The Pistons in the rebuild process.
That makes me wiggle.
But the free agency class from esteemed reporters is meh this year.
Well, esteemed reporters don't know shit. So the Pistons in the rebuild process, what year is this? Don't know. All I know is that
this is Weaver's. This will be Weaver's third year.
They check all the boxes of a successful rebuild. Superstar, check. Cap space, check. Competent GM so far who's getting rid of all bad players and bad contracts. Check.
Very good role players to highlight your superstar.
Good young players to go with Cade in Sadiq Bey.
Utilize the 19th pick in the draft to find a potential fringe all-star Chris Middleton type.
Do we have 2 first-round picks?
No. We have 1.
Well, we trade Jeremy Grant.
We really only have one main one. We don't have much until even the second round.
I thought you said the 19th pick. What?
No, Sadiq Bey. We used the 19th pick on Sadiq Bey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Finding good talent after hit the lottery.
And Isaiah Stewart, who's a solid player.
Really good player off the bench for a playoff team, I'd say. He could be.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about the Pistons. They're going to have to, the lottery's a week from today?
Yeah,
it could be.
I think it's 7 weeks the lottery is, yeah. We'll find out where we pick.
So that could be exciting. Could have another number 1 pick. And I'd probably poop my pants. Not going to say I'll poop on the floor if we get it. But
it's probably Chet. And it's
no, I don't think
I think
The Athletic says that we love Chet.
All the smoke right now is we would take Chet at 1. So hopefully the lottery gods bless us so we don't have to make that decision.
Maybe we'll be 2. We can take Jabari.
Give us 3rd.
3rd sounds great to me.
Keegan Murray for 3rd?
No.
No, Paolo or Jabari. And hopefully Chet goes and won the first 2.
Anyways, so they have and then the last check boxes, they have another, top, at what minimum? I think it's top 7. Don't think it can be outside the top 7.
You know what the one hiccup is, right, guys? That we got the elephant in the room of this franchise right now?
Drafting
Dwayne Casey.
I don't mind Dwayne Casey.
I think he's going to become
for 1 more year.
I think he's going to become our Jeff Blashill. Yeah, so he can go 1 more, and then you're going to have to find some up and coming guy,
Steve Nash type,
the Taylor Jenkins who took over the Grizzlies. No one was talking about Taylor Jenkins really, diehard NBA fans were, but we're going to need our guy Weaver to identify the next guy like that to not get Doc Rivers in a playoff series. Not just continually blow series leads. Mm-hmm. And I like Dwayne Casey a lot. I just, as the NBA advances, I just feel like there's a blueprint kind of for these successful playoff teams, and they kind of have these innovative, younger coaches.
Do Nick Nurses grow on trees?
Juwan Howard. Wow. Short drive down the road.
Okay.
Tom Izzo?
I'm not. No.
Izzo would not translate.
I just wanted to make sure.
I don't want either of them.
Yeah, I was mainly joking.
DJ
Juwan Howard will get an NBA job at some point, so I guess he would be a phone call.
Will.
This also, a big part of this goes back to the that's tough. Slow down. The visualization test that I used for Steve Yzerman.
Still not right.
No, I know. I agree. That did not sound good.
Visualization? I can't do it either.
Say it. Try it, Evan.
Visualize.
That is a tough one. You screwed us, Grant. That's on
visualization. Got it.
Visualization is how it says it on Oxford Dictionary.
Visualization.
Visualization
for Steve Yzerman lifting the cup. I can visualize Cade Cunningham making massive shots down the stretch of a playoff series and just giving that snarl with the flex that he was doing against Kevin Durant in the Nets by himself. So I can see that happening. So I know in my mind this franchise is in good hands.
I can't quite visualize the Pistons holding the Larry O'Brien trophy yet. But I
can't
can see them
Cade.
winning some playoff series and being super competitive and having Charles Barkley and Shaq talk about us pregame in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Like that
I'm not
Cade,
ready to
though,
get to
that-
NBA Finals level yet.
Oh, he's a dog. He's a dog, Chuck. That Cade, he's a dog. Like you can't picture.
I can see them praising Cade quite a bit. We're not there the rest of the way yet.
You can't picture Cade being handed to Larry O'Brien, then handing it off to Sadiq as Cade accepts the smaller Larry O'Brien for being the most valuable player in the finals.
Well, Grant,
I
you
can
need
see
two
that.
superstars. So we need to, once we draft our next superstar, then we'll be good. Then I can see it.
Or we buy our next too as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if we're going to do that this year.
There's some guys.
Superstar.
Hypothetical trade for you guys. I thought about. I have no idea if this works on either end, and I don't know if it's fair. But I just
Did you make
was
this
thinking
up?
about it. Yes, this is from my own brain. It was inspired by an article I was reading, but the actual trade specifics were from my brain. I was like, how would that work? Because this is a guy we flirted with a while. Our guy SGA, who's just lurking with the Thunder. We know Troy Weaver loves him.
I love him.
Alex loves him.
Sus.
Evan loves him. He just doesn't know it yet.
Mm.
We give up Jeremy Grant, who's going to be a hot little trade piece this offseason. And let's say we get the third pick, because that's what we're slotted at right now. So a big boy trade. Jeremy Grant in the third pick in the draft for SGA in the 12th pick in the draft.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's,
Jesus Christ, done.
so they wouldn't do that?
They would
I'm
never
guessing?
give the 12th pick
Okay.
as well. They would need the third and probably Jeremy Grant.
And we get
And
nothing
then we'd
else?
get like one of their young dudes that's
Yeah, but
not as good.
the third pick would hypothetically be an SGA type player based on how people view that pick in this draft too. So
yeah,
then
but
we'd
you
be
can't get the
losing.
12th in return as well.
Yeah, but the 12th.
We could just trade the third pick for SJ and get rid of and keep Jeremy Grant. They can keep the 12th.
Didn't they not even take like the first pick for SGA, or did they? I forget how that went down last year.
They offered SGA and the 6th for the first pick.
Oh wow, wow. That's a haul.
Yeah, and I said
I would do that
You
for
guys said
sure
no.
this year. I would do that for in
No.
a second this year.
No, so
Well,
Cade
we got Cade,
got-
so I think it was
No.
worth
Yeah,
not doing.
it's because we identified because we were basketball sharps. We identified Cade as a guy. I don't feel that good. I don't feel as strong about Cade as any player in this draft. I would do that trade in a second this year.
I
Yeah.
think, Cade's much better. Not much, but he's
Chet-
definitely better than all the rest
If we
of
have
the
the
guys in this
third
draft.
pick, I mean, I'd give them the third pick, Shea, for like their 19th, 20th.
Don't they
Let's make it
have like
exciting.
4
Let's find a
first-round
diamond in the
picks?
rough.
They
I
got
don't know
a
if it's
few.
this
I would
year.
even
I think
take. I would
it's
take
later.
back a second rounder, even, dude. Whatever worked. Because Shea is that guy. Shea's probably better than any of the first 3 picks in this draft, and there's your superstar. And then you can go buy someone else. Maybe I don't know.
And
Shea's
that-
got a big contract.
But now I'm all in on Jalen Brunson, so that's going to
Yep.
get rid of that.
What do you mean, Jalen be point guard?
Shea kind of plays point guard too. And so
Well,
does Cade.
OKC
kind of.
Thunder will own
Shea be
4
the
of the
3.
top 34 picks.
Wow, you can't even.
They're
sign all
just
those
simply
dudes.
not going to have enough money.
They have
in
to.
it. It's
No, they
mass
have to
time.
trade them because you can't have that many rookies.
They're doing some weird stuff over there. And you know what? Who's perfect for them is Chet. Chet screams Oklahoma City Thunder.
Dude, they're talk about a rebuild. They've been rebuilding forever.
Yeah, and in a more irrelevant city than ours, which is, some would argue that's tough to do.
Eventually,
Well,
they gotta
OKC's
start
in front of
drafting.
us in the. No, they're not in front of us. We're third.
Yeah,
We're
we have the,
yeah,
we have
same
the best
odds.
odds first, but we can drop to 7th in a
Oh.
doomsday scenario.
They have the 4th and 12th best odds, lottery odds, and they also have the 30th pick.
So
I just
they
can't
could
tell-
technically be 1 and 2 in a crazy world.
Yes.
That would be
insane.
sweet. My well, then maybe they'd have to trade maybe a little SGA action so they can pay these guys in the future. I don't know how that's gonna work.
I just keep them.
Besides the Dwayne Casey thing, I think a big elephant in the room with this franchise is Jeremy Grant and what happens to him this offseason. Are you guys as we sit here today on camp, keep Jeremy Grant or get rid of Jeremy Grant? Not get rid of, trade. I don't want to be mean to the guy.
Depend. I'm basically cool with him leaving, but it kind of depends, I guess, on who we draft. You could hypothetically keep him if you drafted like a big. You could keep him as a wing, but if you draft a wing, then definitely don't need him.
I'm more so like I don't want to get fleeced in the trade. I don't, and
I
Troy
don't
will
want to
know
trade him
that.
for nothing.
Troy will know that based on what the offers were at the trade deadline and if they've gotten better. But if you don't trade him now, then you're going to either have to re-sign him or he's just going to leave for nothing. Well, I guess he's going to leave after one more year of production for you. And I guess if you're trying to milk out the rebuild another year of sucking, then that could help. I don't know. I want to start winning some games and I want to be playing meaningful games and pushing for a 10 seed. Because how hard is it to be the 10th seed in division?
But if you trade him for a pick, the likelihood of that pick being immediately better than Jeremy Grant, who's like an established good basketball player in the NBA, is low. So you'll probably be pushing the timeline out more by.
But he's missed so many games.
You could get rid of Grant, sign 2 other free agents. With his cap hit, you could sign 2 free agents
and
with the cap space that we have, and the cap space you would get from getting rid of Grant plus our draft pick. Now you have 3 players instead of just keeping Grant and having.
Well, you'd sign at least 1 with Jeremy.
Correct, but if you get rid of the cap hit, you could sign like 2 bona fide studs.
Yeah, just whoever you sign has to be better than Jeremy Grant.
So you get rid of Jeremy.
It doesn't take much.
Get rid of Jeremy.
Pretty decent.
You get rid of Jeremy Grant and you bring in Paolo or Jabari, and then either Benedict Mathurin or Mark Williams or Malachi Branham. In that range, and then you anywhere from like 8 to 15,
20, 8 to 20, 8 to 15,
8 to 15.
Jeremy Grant's gonna be given. We get a first round pick for Jeremy Grant.
You get like a top 10 pick for Jeremy, like 10 around the 10 range for Jeremy Grant based on.
Says who?
Trades. I did the numbers. I looked at past trades of like forwards, and I know this from a Shams leak. Now it kind of messed it up because Portland, if you look at the draft lottery now, Portland has the 6th pick. They would have also had the 8th pick, I believe, from the Lakers, but the Pelicans ended up getting it, and Portland was going to give us the 8th pick for Jeremy Grant. They're going to try to make that trade happen this offseason if they had it. So I think Jeremy Grant will go in that range.
I think by the time we get to the actual draft, the Pelicans will get like 15 or later. Pick. I would be stunned if we got a top 10 pick for him.
What about Cleveland?
Why would they?
We should definitely be able to get a top 15
the Clippers
for Jeremy Grant.
I'm just thinking teams that are like on the borderline of the playoffs, Alex, that could actually like use a forward like right now.
I don't know why Portland would be one of those teams anymore. I mean, they traded CJ.
They're just trying not to piss off Dame.
No, the Cleveland definitely could. I don't know if they'd be able to because they botched the whole Karis LeVert thing, but they were looking for a player of that caliber, and Jeremy Grant's much better than Karis LeVert. Jeremy Grant would be a Larry O'Brien winner as the 3rd option on like a good team. Like he's better than Tobias Harris. Like he would be a very good player on a playoff team. Yeah, like their 3rd piece.
Good 3rd guy on a good team.
I mean, he's a 20-point per game guy. He just has some injury problems. We've also been sitting him sometimes for the rebuild. I mean, he's good. I just think he's very like ball dominant at times, and we kind of just want Kate to be running the show.
He's not a 20-point per guy on a good team. No chance.
No, but he can definitely have like a 30-point game in a playoff series to win you a game when you need it.
If Jeremy Grant was on the Cavs in the game against the Hawks, they would have not lost.
Probably true. Yes.
100%.
I agree.
100%. He's a solid defender too. I mean, he's a Troy Weaver lanky guy, can guard multiple positions. So
he can make sense on the Heat looking at their team right now.
Yeah, but it'll be curious to see what the trade
Duncan
ends up.
Robinson's bad contract.
Oh no, he's way overpaid.
He's getting paid a lot of money. No, I know. So I wonder what they would trade him for now.
The 25th. Yeah, no thanks.
I would take it. He could absolutely snipe.
That's bias, Grant. I mean, no.
Yeah, I like having players on my teams that I like.
Yeah,
sue me.
You just want a top 10 pick for Jeremy Grant. Now you'll settle for Duncan Robinson.
Not for $15 million, $16 million.
His cap hit was atrocious.
But if he puts up the numbers,
he's not going to be a 20-point per game. He's worse than Jeremy Grant.
If he puts up the numbers he did before, then the contract's worth it. That's what he was supposed to make based on the year he had. He just needs. I don't know.
Pass for that foreign dude.
That's weird. I don't know. And Miami fans want him to play. So who knows what's going on down there in South Beach? It's a weird place. We've been there. Weird things happen in Miami. As cheese. All right. Lions football. I'm hopeful for this team. I think this team will be playing meaningful games post Thanksgiving this season.
No.
Define meaningful.
No.
We are,
no, don't
as in
that.
we are in the hunt graphic post Thanksgiving. Like
They
you don't
put
cut
too
us
many
off.
teams in that.
That's
Correct,
not really in the hunt.
Yes, it is.
What's our win-loss after Thanksgiving? How many games do you play by Thanksgiving?
That's the question that you're going to need to give me the answer to. Well,
September, October, 8. So you're probably
Doesn't the
9, 10
schedule
games
come out
deep.
tomorrow?
Now the 12th. We'll probably talk about it next show.
Thursday.
11, 12.
All right.
You're like 12 games in. You only have a month left of the
1,
season.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Give or take whenever your bye is.
I think it's like 10. Of course, it doesn't say on this. The dates, that's not going to work, Alex. 8, 9, 10.
I just think we're going to be on the
11 games.
We'll be below 500.
This team could be 5 and 6.
Okay, fine. If 5 and 6 is in the hunt, maybe. Yes.
It
You
is.
just have to hover around. If you're hovering around 500, you're in the hunt all year.
Okay, but
there's
now
like-
that you say that out loud, that's not saying much.
Correct. But it's better than last year. I said I'm hopeful though.
Our
I think things will
schedule
be
is
better.
easier than last year.
Yep. And I think we're not going to pull like a.
We don't know the order.
It doesn't matter about the order. It's just about the win percentage
We
based
play
off the teams that we play.
We play
The
booty
order
teams.
matters if we play a bunch of good teams in the beginning of the season.
Correct. The order is going to matter
guess
if
for
we're
this
playing meaningful
hypothetical.
games in. But I'm saying record-wise, schedule-wise, we play butt cheeks teams.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
we were
even if we're-
9-1 at that point last year, so it's
Yeah,
not.
we're
hard
gonna be on in the hunt graphics in my mind, and that's we're not gonna pull a Tigers. We're actually gonna live up to like a little bit of hope. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be better than last year. That's the plan.
Yeah, we should be better than last year.
Whereas the Bears are preparing themselves to stink like poop. Okay, we're like
Bears
okay,
are worse than us.
we're
Are we
moving.
better than the Jaguars?
Evan, elite transition right here. The
Are
Athletic
we?
just dropped a power rankings post-draft article, and I had some gripes with it. So let's look at who wrote this. Lindsey Jones, May 10th, 2022. She power ranked all 32 teams in the NFL, and I think there's some teams in front of us that are BS, but also there are probably some teams behind us that are better than us. So out of 32 teams, I'll get to the chase, she put us at 26, which doesn't feel too bad.
Well, that feels terrible, Grant. That means we suck.
Well, we are
It's
gonna
the
suck.
top 8 pick in the draft.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, that feels right.
That's
right?
pick
Are we-
6.
Feels
Well,
good to
well,
get Bryce Young.
I think we're gonna be
He's
like
not going to go 6.
Will Levis is going number 1 overall.
Oh, Jesus. Worst mock
saw
draft
that
I've ever
today.
seen.
I saw that today.
It was
All right,
disgustingly
teams-
bad.
teams behind us. The Texans. That makes sense to me.
Horrendous.
The
organization.
Jaguars are ranked behind us. They're at 31. That makes sense to me.
Yep.
Sure.
The Bears and Falcons are tied for 29th. That feels solid.
Yep. I agree with that.
Falcons are similar to us.
The Giants
No.
and Panthers are tied at 27.
Panthers don't have a quarterback. Okay, who are you taking right now, Goff or Sam Darnold?
Goff.
Who are you taking right now, Dan Campbell or Matt Rule?
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, I just think those teams are talent-wise similar to us.
I mean, they
and
do have Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey can win them whatever game they want, but he's got to be on the field the last couple of 2 years he hasn't.
got DJ Moore. I mean, they're all right. They suck. But
All right. And then there's us at 26. And now there's some names in front of us that I think are a little poo-poo.
As of right now, Grant, I don't think there's any team behind us that you can say, no, that team's definitely better.
There's no definitive team behind us
Right.
that's better than us.
You can hear arguments on either side. Now, the Seahawks are in front of us, and I don't get that. Drew Lock is butt. They
Pete
are not
Carroll.
going to be better than us.
It's because of the Seahawks like winning.
They got a
it's-
better
it's-
coach.
It's bad. I don't understand. Didn't Bobby Wagner leave too?
Yeah,
Didn't
but they got
everyone
a
leave?
better division. They're playing in a better division. I don't agree with that.
No, they are not going to be better than us. They're going to be terrible. Now, unless K9 is going to go crazy, go
Yes.
brazy, and pull
Rookie of the year.
Christian McCaffrey. But still, even with that, like you said, they're playing heavy hitters. Six games against heavy hitters in the league. They are going to be.
They
bad.
should go 0-6 in those games.
Yeah. Then you have the Jets, which is insulting to me that you put a
It's
Zach
every
Wilson
single
led
year.
team.
It's after the draft. They're like, oh my gosh, this team's got so much better.
They have a lot of talent, but Jared Goff is better than Zach Wilson until Zach Wilson shows me something, so they should not be ahead of us.
How
And
did the
then-
Jets do last year?
They put the Carson Wentz-led
One more
Commanders
game.
in front of us.
Their defensive front
they're
is
better than us,
solid.
Grant.
Well, now our defensive front is
Terry
bolstered.
McLaurin, Jahan Dotson.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
Antonio
Jameson
Gibson.
Williams,
they
Amon
were
St. Brown.
better than us. with
Jameson
Taylor
Williamson
Heineke,
isn't
dude.
playing until October.
Jared Goff is better than Carson Wentz. So
Not
again, I go
really.
back to the court.
They're the
Yes, he
same.
is.
They're the same
No.
quarterback, Grant.
Carson Wentz is disgusting. He
Carson
couldn't-
Wentz takes teams at least like well past the in the hunt graphic. in the
Carson
last week of
Wentz
the
was on
season.
one of the most talented teams in the league, and they lost to the Jaguars to miss out on the playoffs. They suck. It might have been the
Jared
Texans,
Goff fumbled
but
35 times in the first 4 games.
Jared Goff was throwing to cardboard boxes last year. Carson Wentz had one of the best defenses, had the best running
who is
back
he
in the
throwing
entire
to?
league, and the best
Who is he
offensive
throwing
had
to?
Michael Pittman on his team.
Michael Pittman is
and
your
the best
guy.
and the best running back in the entire league, and they were
Who's
fully
their other
healthy.
receivers? 50-year-old T.Y. Hilton,
The best
Zach
running back.
Pascal.
Alex, they had the best running back in their entire league. They had not much injury problems, and they couldn't make the playoffs. Carson Wentz is terrible at football.
They
and
ran the ball 60 times a game. Carson Wentz wasn't even asked to do anything.
Still couldn't make the playoffs. Carson Wentz sucks.
Washington's better than us.
I disagree.
Well, you'll see.
It shouldn't be a lock.
It's a lock. They're better than us.
No.
They had Taylor Heineke playing quarterback last year, who was
They're gonna
god
beat-
awful, and they were
they're gonna beat
Better
the
than
Giants.
Carson Wentz.
Washington's going to beat the Giants twice. Should. They'll probably beat
No, they'll
Dallas at
split.
least once.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They would
I
beat
do
us.
not see them splitting with the Giants.
No, we'd beat the Commanders. We will beat the Commanders this year. We will beat the Commanders this year.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Shake on it.
Unless there's crazy circumstances with injuries. But Carson Wentz is a joke.
Do you remember our defense still stinks? Did it get that much better, Grant? Jeff
don't-
Okuda sucks.
I don't think the Commanders is some amazing unit.
They have
It's
a
not
really
that-
good D line.
Okay,
and that matters
we
a
just,
lot
We
in
just
football.
beefed up ours.
Continue.
I mean, there's really not many more teams after that because they're teams that have quarterback problems, but they're historically better franchises. Like the next two teams are the Steelers and the Saints.
Are there any teams out there that you think shouldn't be ahead of us, other than
No.
Washington?
No,
Then we don't need to go through it.
I think that's about it.
But I don't think these rankings are putting in the fact of team schedule.
Well, they can't. Well,
Yes,
I
they
guess.
can.
They
Do
know
you
the
know who
teams.
everyone
They know
plays?
the opponents, but Evan, teams get better though. It's not
Well,
like
breaking news: the last week of the regular season, you always play divisional point. Okay, there's that.
the Jaguars don't have Urban Meyer anymore. They're not going to be as bad as they were.
The Lions aren't going to play in a primetime game. You know all the.
They might get one.
You
No,
know
honestly,
all of the.
I think the Jaguars
Overseas
have a better
games.
chance to you could talk me into if they had a perfect season, they'd be better than Commanders because Trevor Lawrence is better than Carson Wentz.
You just hate Carson Wentz. This is just a biased thing you got going. I get he's not some superstar, but he is not like toilet bowl.
I don't hate him. I think he's toilet bowl garbage at quarterback. I think he's very bad.
I think he's comparable to our quarterback, and that's the problem that you're not seeing because Jared Goff was historically horrendous as well.
I don't think Jared Goff is good by any means, and I don't think we'll ever win a playoff game with him as our quarterback, but I think he's more competent than Carson Wentz.
I don't know why, but
Anyways, speaking of the elephant in the room for the Lions, my thoughts on them is I like the people that are in charge of our organization right now, and I think they've done smart things across the board. However, we don't have a quarterback yet. That is the big elephant in the room with our organization right now.
yeah. And if you're good this year, you're not getting Bryce Young. So,
Don't tell me that.
well,
Why can't we trade up?
We could
because no
We have
one's
2 first-round picks.
Because if the teams that we think are going to suck, like the Falcons and
Yep.
Texans.
the Giants and the Texans, there's no chance they're passing on them. And you've already said that, Grant.
No, I actually think they... Yeah. I do, but I'm surprised you're saying that because you told me that the Texans would be cool to run it back with Davis Mills over Bryce Young or CJ
Well,
Stroud.
I just think the Texans won't be that terrible. They're going to be bad.
Like, they're not going to win more than 5 games. That's pretty bad.
But I can easily see us win like 4 games.
No way.
What happened?
We won 3 and we like tied 1 and we had Tim Boyle slinging the ball around last year. Tim Boyle is the worst quarterback in the entire NFL.
Yeah, no, he is really bad. I just don't know what like happened to think that we're now going from 3 wins to 7 or whatever you're going to say.
No, yeah, I think adding 4 wins makes a lot of sense for this team. I don't see why you're having a hard time thinking that. I know Evan feels the same way. You think we're just going to run back? You think we're going to run back 3-13 again, or 3-14?
I think we'll be like 5-12.
2 more wins.
6 maybe.
When we just came off one of the hardest schedules in the league last year with our quarterback that isn't great but missed a bunch of the season and had cardboard cutouts he was throwing to, when we just got your guy of the draft who will be able to play at some point this season, and we had the number 2 pick in the draft, which should help our D-line, and we had 2 of our one of our probably best defensive player tore his Achilles last year. He'll be back at some point. And we also have a high draft pick and a cornerback who I'm not going to give up on yet, also tore his Achilles in game 1. And we also made some signings. And our offensive line didn't play a single snap altogether last year fully healthy. Like, I don't understand how we're going to be like 2 games better.
Jamison Williams and Okwara could easily go on the PUP and miss the first 6 games. Okay. That's our.
Well, then Jamison Williams is a liar. Then I want to be a little upset that he's telling everyone he's going to be ready by camp.
He could be ready. We could just not push it, you know?
Well, then we're dumb because if he says he's ready for camp, he's a dog.
Number 2, you have Anzalone and Jared Davis playing linebacker.
You don't know that. As the starters.
Derek Barnes. Oh, that's good.
It's more exciting.
Jeff Okuda. Not going to be mean about it because you said I had to give him a chance, so I'll give him a chance. But we didn't get crazy more talented because we added 3 dudes. It's 22 players to play, plus special teams. 2 dudes isn't just going to make you like 5 wins better.
Yeah, but I mean, I know obviously the Minnesota win was last second, so that could have gone the other way, but there also was several losses we had that could have easily gone to wins on last second field goals where miraculous stuff happened. And they could have won 5 games easily last year. So why can't they do it?
Well, teams that know how to win games that are close. We, as an organization, don't know how to win those games. When have we done it?
That's just a loser excuse of like past stuff.
You're telling me a bunch of guys that had a bunch of devastating losses are just going to not think about that at the end of a game in crunch time? Like, wow, remember when we lost this game by that terrible decision? I actually think that they'll go into week 1 this year, and if they're in a tight game, they're not going to be thinking about week 1 Justin Tucker game. Remember that Dan Campbell made like several questionable coaching decisions last year? He tried to run the ball 70 times in one game, basically. Every coach in the
NFL gets drunk and does crazy shit. John Harbaugh kept going for 2 and they kept losing. The Chargers coach went for it on 4th down every time and they stopped getting it and they didn't make the playoffs. So
alarming
great
signs.
Coaches. No,
Dan Campbell's has not done anything to deserve great coach.
No, but I'm saying every coach in the NFL. Andy Reid is the worst clock management timeout coach almost in the history of the sport. Okay,
and one of the best offensive minds in the entire game.
I'm just saying the argument. I'm not going to listen to your argument of he did dumb stuff. Every coach in the NFL does dumb stuff.
Okay, but what is Dan Campbell good at?
Mike Tomlin stepped on a football field and tried to kick. Mike Tomlin tried to trip a kick returner in a game and got lucky enough to not get flagged for it. Every coach has done really idiotic shit in the NFL.
I don't know why we think that Dan Campbell all of a sudden is a great coach. I'm not saying we should be out on him, but he hasn't done anything to prove anything.
I never said Dan Campbell was a great coach.
No, but you were going in this direction of great coaching and blah blah blah. So
no, you started it by saying Dan Campbell did a bunch of dumb stuff at the end of games. I go, every coach in the NFL does dumb stuff at
several weeks in a row.
Yes.
Yeah, and those teams sucked. We suck. I don't know what you want me to say. We're going to be sweet next year?
No, I don't.
It would not be surprising if we won 5 games. You wouldn't sit here and be that stunned. You'd be like, oh, SOL, man, same old lines.
No, I would be pretty stunned and pretty feeling like the Tigers, how I feel about the Tigers right now.
Evan, how would you feel?
I'd be stunned. I think we're going to win more than 5 games.
I think we could and should. I'm just saying I'm not going to be surprised if we only win 5 games.
I won't be surprised, but
That's what I'm
I
asking.
feel like this team is definitely better. Like I'm on Grant's 100% on Grant's side. I'm going to cancel Alex as a Lions fan. So
I think that, yes, on paper, the Lions are better.
5 is, now that I think about it, 5 is also really splitting hairs because I said 6 on last week's show when we did the over-under. I said the line was about 6. So
I like I said, I didn't listen to it, so I didn't know
But-
what your over-under was.
I'd be stunned if they repeat and won 3 games again if they were a basement
I think
dweller
that,
in the league.
well, I will just say I think they'll be better. They're better on paper. I'm just not as hopeful, I guess, as you.
Evan, what gives you hope for next season?
knock on wood, we're all going to stay healthy.
Yes.
Offensive line will actually play all together. Swift
nice.
will be healthy. Goff will be healthy. We have better weapons offensively. And year 2, defensively scheme, year 2 under Dan Campbell, everything's not going to repeat themselves. All the bad things aren't going to happen again. You're going to learn from your mistakes and you're going to move on from them. Plus, the schedule is 1,000 times easier. So, we were bad last year and we beat a playoff team. So,
Yep.
The Cardinals.
And
we
if
actually beat 2 playoff teams.
And you always got to bank on the 1 or 2 like asterisk wins at the end of the year when the Packers are playing Jordan Love and we stink and we just rip one off. So that could happen again this year.
Those don't matter.
Plus our division, I mean, Bears are going to seem worse.
Bears are worse than us.
Vikings, we can beat them once.
Are the Bears worse than us, or are they the same?
Bears are worse than us.
They're worse. I don't think they have any real strength right now. They can't protect their quarterback to save their life.
Their offense is bad, yeah. They
We
still
should
have
rack
decent
up-
players.
We should.
It's hard
rack
to
up-
win any game in the NFL. No NFL
I
team
don't-
is like an
I don't
absolute
think they
joke
have,
that's
like, a-
guaranteed to win.
I don't think they have a single like real offensive like weapon on their team.
They have a young quarterback that has potential to be good.
I think Velus Jones is like their best wideout they draft. Like I
Like
don't.
Darnell Mooney.
Okay, all pro Darnell Mooney.
I'm just saying, it's not like college sports where you're playing the lady of the blind and you're guaranteed to win. Like you can lose every game in the NFL and it wouldn't be surprising.
You could also win.
The
No,
Jags
it would
beat
be.
the Bills
Supposed to.
last
No,
year.
Alex. If we lost every game last year,
I'm
it'd be
not
stunning.
saying that. I'm just saying.
I would take a poop on our floor if we
I
lost
think you
every
also
game.
win
Didn't
games
mean-
you're not supposed to.
Yes, correct. I didn't mean you would lose. We're going to lose every game. I mean, if we play the Jags and they're awful and they're like 0-6 and we're like 5-2 and we lost, I wouldn't be surprised because it's the NFL and that happens all the time.
Be a little
You
surprised
said you're
because we're
supposed
not
to be Mr.
the
Positive, and you're Mr. Negative.
because we're not.
You
I'm
stink.
I just watch this
You
show
stink.
every season and it's hard to be like, yeah, we're going to
You
be really
stink.
good. You said it all leading up to the
Where
draft.
is
We
the
have to address
posit-
defense, and we did things that you didn't want us to do.
And you're sitting there saying Jameson Williams is going to be a monster.
Yeah,
monster.
he's going to be a
gonna
good
be
player.
a monster. He's going to be a superstar.
Yeah, who's disagreeing with that?
Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase got their teams in the hunt. Jameson should do the same for us.
Kirk Cousins is better than Jared Goff.
Not by like a crazy amount.
Our offensive line's better than Minnesota's.
Agreed.
Facts.
Cincinnati's
Big
a better team than
facts.
us, so that's not really
Cincinnati went out and spended on their defense, so that's why.
correct.
I'm curious to see how good the Vikings are this year. It's kind of a wild card. They are just big year for Kirk. He's got to really play, or that new coach and GM are gonna be
We
like,
beat the
okay.
Vikings last year, Alex, when they were in the playoff race.
What are you yelling at me for? I didn't even say anything. I
You're
was just
saying
going to
how
say
we're-
that.
you were saying how like we're basically going to lose all the games like we did last year.
No, I didn't say that at all. I said I expect us to be better, and we're better on paper. I'm not going to be surprised if we stink, though.
Well, you were putting words in our mouth that Grant and I never said. So
Oh, I just said that I could see us winning less than 7 games.
I do not want to be picking in the top 10 of next year's draft.
I would like it if we were picking inside the top 3 next year.
Well, then what the do you want, Evan?
I'm happy of both worlds, but
You
like
can't
if
have
we're picking
both.
in the we can't have both.
Well,
If we
you
were picking in the
can. I don't know
top
why you're
3,
mocking me.
if you're picking the top 3, it means we're guaranteed to get one of the quarterbacks.
That means we sucked.
we
like
traded
3
move up
wins.
there, Alex.
Yeah, that means we're really bad.
Yeah,
That
it's
means-
gonna suck, but like
That would
When
be
we
everything
started-
I just said happens, and then
when we started,
you guys are going to be
0-7,
happy about it.
Right
That
now,
means-
I'm going to be Mr. Positive. It's 2022. You're supposed to be positive. We're in May. We had a successful draft.
You
we turned the
actually
corner.
texted when we drafted Josh Pascal that you hated it, and it was a terrible pick.
I bring up the receipts. I never said that.
I'll find it. But keep
I
talking.
think you might have, Evan.
You were mad about it.
But anyways, at the end of the day, and this is why this segment is so good with this team, is because no matter how bad this team is, it's still football. It's always going to get us excited because it is the best sport in the world, and it's the Premier League. And also, guys, we can look forward to this Hard Knocks buzz. So we're going to be really juiced up
Hard
for this
Knocks will
team
be fun.
come opening week. Like, we are going to be ready to get hurt again, and hopefully we get maybe a couple early wins to sustain the interest in this team longer than last year.
Just to go back to that text, it was actually Cody. Well, there's two different group chats. The first one I found is Cody said, F off when we drafted Pascal, and Evan said, preach, exclamation point. So not quite terrible pick, but I believe he said something in another chat about it as well. So you
That's
did
like one
not
of
like
those-
that pick, Evan.
No, but Evan could just play retweets or not endorsements. He was just telling Cody to go off and express himself. Spin zone.
I didn't say anything about
Oh,
Pascal.
hate it. Our back seven. That's from you. Yeah, you.
I didn't hate Pascal. I just we're not addressing.
So
the back
you
seven.
weren't totally thrilled about our draft, at least at one point.
I never said that.
Huge factor in how
Never
many
said
wins
that.
and how many wins we get is what number does Jameson Williams wear? That's gonna
Can't be
lose 2
89.
wins on its own.
Jeff Okuda, stop being selfish. You're not good enough to wear that jersey.
Okay, well we don't need to mention him.
Well, he's the one stealing his number.
No, Jameson can be 6. He was 6 at Ohio State.
He's built for number one.
I kind of want to make the executive decision to do the state of our college teams a different show since we went longer on the 4 of these. I think that's good because we have some submitted questions here we can get to at the very end.
Yeah, and we're pretty
Um,
ways away from college.
Yeah, we'll do them like as we get closer into the summer. Sometime in the summer when it's slow.
We're in quite the dead period of college sports right now.
Let's do 2 of the sports related ones, and then we'll do quickly the other 3 that aren't really sports related. Goes into this of the State of the Union address. Who is the face of Detroit sports right now? We've done this question before. I'll have to go back and look to see how they've changed.
I don't remember what I said the first time, but Cade is now the face. I think I said Sadiq Bey the first time. Cade now is my new
You might
answer.
have. I will go Cade as well.
Yeah, I would have to say Cade as well. Recency bias, and plus the Tigers are sucking. I think if one of them were doing well with the Tigers, I think we would say that. But
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
Tigers'
think
awful start kind of killed that chance of anybody saying that.
I don't think
Great, you
there's
could say
really
Aiden
anyone-
Hutchinson, man.
I don't think that's going to be. I don't think he's the face yet because there's a lot of people in the state that don't really like him, and he's got to prove it. And
Probably
if he's
half.
good, then I think he'll be embraced. And I don't think, like you said, with the coaching, like you're not going to say a Dan Campbell at this point he hasn't done anything. He will be if the Lions become good. Dan Campbell will be the face of this city. He will be the guy we go to bat for.
He has like the best odds to win Coach of the Year this year.
No way.
Released today, I guess he had the most bets placed on him to win Coach of the Year,
All right, the odds,
which
would
moved
be-
his odds to like near the best.
Well, now I have to go look.
now you're
It's like,
backtracking, Alex. What's the answer?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna throw out the next one while I go look this up. This one came from my brain because I think it's very. It might be obvious, might not be. If you could bring in one single active pro sports player to Detroit, who would it be and why? We can just do. Yeah, I say we do. You just have to pick one in total, not one for each of the 4 sports, because I think that this will make the question harder. Just one sport, one player in general.
Do you want me to go first? I have an answer.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes
Hmm.
for the lie downs.
And to see Cody and Wyatt get mad.
Oh my God, it'd be great. He'd be leading us to victory, and they would be mad about it. Be hilarious.
I would bring in Jacob deGrom to the Tigers.
What?
Oh, wow. I mean, nasty pitcher, but Evan, the rest of the team can't hit, so what would change?
You have a guy that's going to go out there every fifth day and you're guaranteed to win.
But isn't he always hurt? Evan, I hate that answer.
I don't like the answer.
Everybody gets hurt. He's the
that
best
doesn't really
pitcher.
solve any of our problems.
In the words of Jake Arrieta, he's the best pitcher of the last 10, 15 years.
But it doesn't make us any. It makes us
having the best pitcher in Major
23
League Baseball.
games. I guess if he how many times do they start a year? 20 something times.
Patrick Mahomes has won one Super Bowl. Do we get that much better?
I think the difference is a quarterback dictates every single game and has much more control over the outcomes.
The best pitcher in baseball also. Okay,
they don't play every game.
It's not just about the regular season. It's also about the postseason and having that bona fide stud.
Agreed. In the postseason, be very important, but our hitting still blows.
You just need to watch baseball more. I'm not taking opinions from a skew.
How am I wrong?
Next. Go ahead.
This has been one of our best shows in a while.
I just don't get how you can act like one pitcher is all of a sudden making the Tigers a playoff team. We're terrible.
I want to say why you have to hate in my opinion if you could bring in one person
Grant
to
said,
a team.
I hate your pick. Why are you yelling at him?
Because he's not backlashing at me. Because you're just saying one guy's not going to make that big of a difference.
That was my opinion.
I
was saying why. I said why I didn't like it.
I cheer for the Chiefs.
I didn't think my answer was bad. You could say you don't like it.
I don't really give a care because we all knew you were going to pick that.
Evan's pick did stun
me. I went
me.
outside of the box and I picked, the Tigers, where we were just bashing on them. I want the best pitcher in baseball right now. Jacob deGrom.
We have
a problem with our starting rotation. Yes, hitting's going to be worse. But if you have a stud out there, it is almost like a proven fact. You could probably pull up some weird stat. Like when your stud's out there pitching, you have a tendency to play better.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's really good. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I was surprised by your answer, I guess.
Little odds check in here. Dan Campbell has the 10th best odds to win Coach of the Year, which is pretty high.
But most money placed on him. According to
believe
BetAG Online, whatever.
He's He's the same odds as Frank Reich, Matt LaFleur, Kevin Stefanski, which is kind of crazy to think about.
It's quite the company.
I'm kind of torn. Just a couple names came to mind as Evan was talking. I don't know if I want to do pure excitement factor or I want to try to win a championship, because there's one guy with a bullet. You put him on one of our teams, we're winning a championship in the next 2 to 3 years, given if health goes right. Probably next year, probably would win the championship. But I'm going to go for excitement. What would really rally the city, I want Josh Allen in the Honolulu Blue, because he's electric, and I think he also gives us a realistic Super Bowl shot. So I put Josh Allen on the Lions, lock him up for the next 5 years, whatever his contract is, and let's roll in the Ford Field. And Josh Allen was built for Detroit. I mean, Buffalo loves him. Cold weather plays. He's a down to earth guy, and we'd have part of my take on our side. I mean, it would be awesome.
Quarterback.
Do you guys know who the obvious championship winner was? Giannis. You put Giannis with Cade.
Yes.
Good luck stopping that.
That was an easy pick. Put Giannis. You could have gone Mike Trout.
Trout would help.
For fun factor for baseball, Shohei would be sweet because he does both. And we just get to watch him throw and then just hit bombs at Comerica. So
we need a new park.
We just need a superstar in this town so we can just oogle over someone. Even if we're bad, I just want someone to watch the sport and go, wow, that player's doing things that I can't imagine ever doing. We just have a bunch of Corey Giuseppes running around this town.
Blow at everything. Dude, we haven't watched a playoff win since 2015.
Yeah, we probably haven't. Has anyone made? I mean, I'm not gonna go look it up, but we probably even haven't even made a playoff.
No, the Pistons made it.
Pistons got
swept.
They got swept by Giannis, their newest player.
So it's probably been at least a presidential.
What year did they get swept by the Cavs?
That was my freshman year of college. And then they played the Bucks my junior year of college.
So that was 2016.
The Red Wings lost to the Lightning in my freshman year of college. I think that's the last time they made the playoffs.
So it's been at least a full presidential term and change since we've even seen a playoff game. Even just witnessed one with our eyeballs.
13.
It's sad because like these
14.
are some of our we talk about on our weekly check-ins. These are some of our peak drinking years, and it's fun to get with your friends and socialize and drink over a sporting event.
We don't
Like,
even know what it's like. I
getting to watch-
don't even think I ever drank.
getting
when
to
we got
watch
in the playoffs.
Luke watch the Penguinos. We're actually gonna probably like ruin our lives when our team make the playoffs because we're gonna be like degenerates drinking when we're 30 because it's the first playoff experience we have. That's kind of alarming.
We had the same episode last year, and we just talked about how depressing it is.
Yep, it hits me every NBA playoffs when I in
We
NHL
sit
playoffs.
here and watch all the playoffs, and our teams are never in it.
All right, 3 last quick ones, and we'll wrap this puppy up. Would you rather be in prison for 1 year or in a coma for 2 years? Coma, you'd wake up in good health.
Prison.
Ben V getting dark on us here.
Coma.
Prison. I don't want to lose 2 years of my life.
You're losing one.
You can at least like learn some things in prison, right?
And
Well, that's gonna have to avoid that.
Coma.
uh,
I'm going coma 100%. You just sleep through it. Boom, you're out of it.
yeah,
I'll
I
take
wonder
prison.
if
You
you
go to
know.
sleep, and next thing you know, you just wake up.
I wonder if you know that. Yeah, if the time has passed, you probably don't, right?
No,
It's gonna
it's probably
feel
just
like
like a snap.
Like you're not gonna feel like you're sleeping for 2 years.
It's gonna be like 5 minutes. You're gonna wake up.
I'm going to coma. Take me away.
You're not even gonna know how to walk. You haven't
guys-
gotten up in
Special
2 years.
place.
You guys both made really good points. I'll go prison for the edge, so I can like
You could,
seem tougher.
yeah, you could just be like, yeah, I was in prison.
Yeah, exactly. Next time,
So somebody
elbow
turns
to
you
elbow.
into their girlfriend, and then it's all over.
That-
and then you
that
don't have
would-
an edge.
Then you would
You have a different edge.
You'd go
You're gonna
back
come
into a
out-
coma.
You're gonna come out as Gloria instead of Grant.
That would be
Oh,
rough.
no.
That would be rough.
Grant.
Just wouldn't want to go to sleep and wake up and be like 27 years old. It would suck.
Yeah, but then maybe
It's
one of our
getting me
teams would
closer
be in
to
the
what I
playoffs.
actually want. Just like skip forward 2 years. I'm okay with it.
You want to be 27 instead of 25?
Like I'm already like halfway to like midlife crisis, Alex. So like 2 more years, it gets me over the halfway point. You know what I'm saying?
We're at the quarter life right now. Quarter life crisis.
Halfway.
You're only
if you
living
guys
to
could-
50.
Well, I can plan whenever I want to go.
I'm living to 100.
If you could play,
You
any
are
sport-
definitely going to be the first one to die of all of our friends. I can guarantee it.
I used to say when I was like 15 I would die at the age of 25, so I'm a little on edge right now.
Oh yeah.
If you
It
could
was
play
coming in my
any-
throat today.
Don't talk shit about Jacob DeGrom, man.
I didn't. I said he's good.
If you could play any sport professionally, which one would you choose and why?
I'm not going first this time.
I'd be a Hall of Fame quarterback. There's nothing cooler than just being the guy of a city and just getting all the rings, and then they pay you $375 million to be an analyst for Fox for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Just sounds great. And they protect you now, so you don't get a bunch of brain injuries.
It's got the shortest season.
Not baseball. No, if anyone says baseball, I'd be stunned. Not NASCAR. They drive forever.
NASCAR would be miserable. Dude, that would
You don't want to be
suck
Kyle Busch.
so bad.
I don't think it would be that bad.
Dude, I would just hate just going left and left and left and left.
That's why there's road courses, Alex. Come on.
I mean, I know Alex is going to say golf because if you think about it, Evan,
I'm
and
not.
it goes to your point, Evan. If you're just sweet like at majors, you don't need to golf that much. So it's like the less commitment because you'll make enough money to live
Golf
and get
takes, like,
endorsements.
Do you just get to be automatically sweet at it?
I guess it doesn't say that, but I
Because
assume
golf
that
is
in
like
my
a
answer.
mental drain, like practice all the time. It would kind of suck. And then you wouldn't like golf anymore.
Don't you think every sport is? Like you got to be in
Yeah.
the gym doing crossover dribbles with like a coach in front of you.
I'm
Like, it's
going
not
basketball. I'm assuming that we just get to be sweet at it, and then it'd be sick. Crowd
Best
goes
financially.
nuts.
They give out
Bang
big contracts
threes,
to anybody.
and you get
So
paid a ton, and then you can sit out games when you don't want to play.
Ben Simmons.
I don't know.
It's like basketball.
Oh no!
I'll probably say football.
a shutdown corner.
I feel like people outside, like after football, like have better careers.
I'm gonna be
And
on
people
set
actually
with Chuck
enjoying
and
them.
Shaq afterwards.
What position would you want to be in?
Protect your body.
I'll be the next Cooper Cup.
Oh,
No, take that back. No. I'm going to be the kicker.
Genius. Might not get enough love, though, Evan. You won't be the face of the city like Grant.
Justin Tucker is a face of Baltimore Ravens history.
Evan McPherson is up there.
You get to have a massive leg, like 65 yarders. I don't know.
get
Matt
paid pretty
Prater was
well.
like the face of Detroit,
You get
too.
paid pretty well. You don't have to do anything like physical or strenuous. You don't have to be expected to do a lot. Like, just take it to those uprights.
I still yearn for Jason Hansen.
Or you could be a punter like Pat McAfee and then have a sweet life afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm going kicker or punter. Special teams guy.
Super easy. We don't even have to practice.
You'd have a sweet celebration when you pin it inside the 5. I can.
Who's a
just see
CBS
sucking
reporter
it.
that used to be the kicker? Jay Feely?
Jay Feely,
stinks.
now he's an analyst about kicking.
He's the worst.
Kickers matter.
He just comes on. He comes on broadcast and just talks about how strong the wind's blowing.
Yeah, it's not. He's
we
a
don't need you
weatherman.
for that,
He's a
Jay.
glorified
Blowing
weatherman.
pretty hard out here, Jim.
You're just going to have to aim right for this one.
My tie just blew into my face. It's getting gusty. Okay, last one. Who would win in a 50-meter freestyle race of Michael Phelps and Joey Chestnut, but hot dogs have to be eaten before jumping into the pool to swim? I don't know how far 50 meters is. Does anyone know?
That's
Is
the
it one length
shortest.
of the pool? It's just down?
I think it's
Michael
down back.
Phelps does the men's 50 free in 23 seconds. Joey
Michael Phelps,
Chestnut probably eats
Michael
3 hot
Phelps
dogs
would
in
win
like a
this
second.
running away.
I think Joey Chestnut has a real chance, and I kind of
I don't think so.
You think Michael Phelps could eat 3 hot dogs that fast?
Yes.
Evan, as we try to eat hot dogs, they take a
Joey
while.
Chestnut, Michael Phelps is bigger, faster, stronger than anything that we'll do in our lives, Alex. When we are below average human beings, Michael Phelps is above average, elite, Olympic gold medalist winner.
It doesn't mean he can guzzle hot dogs.
His competitive instinct is so much more than you were ever capable of doing.
You don't have to
The
just
wild
chop
cards,
my
we have-
athleticism. I know he's a very athletic dude.
But it's fun to chop at least athleticism in the mix. The wild card is we don't
You also
know.
think Joey Chestnut be able to swim fast?
That's my thing. I don't
No.
know.
He's an athlete. He is not an athlete. He's a fat lard that likes eating for a living.
But so Michael Phelps does the 50 free in 23 seconds. You don't think Joey could do it in like 2 minutes? It's gonna take Michael Phelps at least 2 minutes to eat three hot dogs.
He's not. Yes, he's gonna sit there, put much mustard and ketchup on him, and sit there and just enjoy.
Dude,
it.
you gotta chew it and like swallow it. It's not
I mean,
just
if we think back to our camping trip of the first year, I was able to do it pretty fast, and everyone else was, and then Dr. Love was able to do it very fast this last year, and that's 1 hot dog. And you do feel pretty bad after the first hot dog, but Michael Phelps would be able to at least eat a hot dog like within 30 seconds if he's going hard, and then you would think he'd be able to do 2 more enough to be able
the
to.
second and the third are gonna be slower than the first. More than likely. It's gonna
And
take
Joey-
him like 2 minutes.
Joey
to eat
takes
3
the hot dogs out of the buns. I feel Michael's gonna do the same thing that Joey does. Take the hot dogs out
Joey-
of the buns,
Joey
eat the
will
hot dogs,
have-
dip the bun in the water, and eat it.
Joey will have the first 3 done by the time Michael has his first, so he's already in the pool, and then it's just like how much of a head start is he getting?
Yeah, can Joey Chestnut swim 50 meters in like a minute and a half? I think that's all it
And
would take.
Evan, will Michael
Phelps is running away with his
He's not going to
competition.
go
Well,
23 seconds after
Evan,
3 hot dogs in his
Will Michael
belly.
Phelps cramp up because his belly's not used to having 3 hot dogs in it in a fast, while Joey is feeling light on his feet at this point because he eats 60 at a time.
Yeah, Michael Phelps could puke.
He might have to wait like a
Joey
half
Chestnut
hour
could
to swim.
drown.
No,
I know. Well, we're
Do we know
assuming
he can
Joey can
swim?
swim.
Do
We're
we-
assuming he
he-
can swim. No,
He
I don't.
has to
I
be able
don't.
to.
I'm pretty sure he can swim.
this is the
I'm
biggest
taking
X factor.
Michael Phelps.
I'm taking Joey Chestnut because it's going to have like 2 minutes to do 50 meters.
I don't think you're underestimating Michael Phelps hot dog eating.
I just know the one time I tried to eat hot dogs fast, it's not as easy as Joey Chestnut makes it look.
You're an average human being. Michael Phelps
Yes,
is the
and I'm
Olympic gold
assuming
medalist
Michael Phelps
athlete.
can do it faster than me.
way faster than you.
Phelps eats a lot
It's
of food in
just
the day.
eating
I
hot
remember
dogs,
seeing,
though.
but I
Michael
don't know
Phelps
how
is just
fast.
going to rip his bong and then just chow down those hot dogs so fast.
If anything, Evan, you have just as good of a chance as Michael Phelps to eat 3 hot dogs. It's not like he's just a
No.
world champion eater just because he's good at swimming.
Just because Joey
There's no
Chestnut is
correlation
good at
to that.
eating doesn't mean he's good at swimming.
No, I think he's a terrible swimmer. I think he's just going to have a lot of time because Michael
I
Phelps
don't think he's going to
down in
have
hot
as
dogs.
much time as you think. I'm picking Michael Phelps. I'm done with this.
Joey.
I think it's tight. I want to see it back.
Michael Phelps isn't going to be eating a hot dog like you and just you're not. Michael Phelps will dunk it in the water.
Why do you keep comparing it to me? I don't think I would beat
because you're
either of
comparing
them.
yourself to him. He's like, well, I ate mine pretty slow, so Michael Phelps can't be that much behind me.
No, I think it's not even what I said. I just said I know what it's like to try to eat a hot dog fast. I'm sure he can do it double as fast as me. But Joey Chestnut just swallows them in like 30 seconds. He's going to have them all gone.
Yeah. He's going to be in that pool kicking.
And I don't know how long 50 meters is swimming. So, but it's...
God.
He might be sinking. We don't know if he could swim.
This needs
I'm
to
picking
be
I'm
a
picking
pay-per-view
Michael Phelps.
event.
A lifeguard has to
Michael
jump
Phelps.
in and lift Joey off the bottom of the pool.
Grant, who are you taking?
I'm going to take Joey for fun, but I really have no idea.
I do wonder if he can swim now that Evans can
Evan's definitely the most logical. I got lost in the hypothetical. It's gotta be Michael Phelps.
I don't think
I don't know,
so,
but it's
man.
it's
I think
too
it'd be
male,
very close no matter what.
two male athletes at the peak of their powers. It'd be must watch.
Unless Michael Phelps is secretly like a hot dog dominator and is after.
It's also all about Joey's dive. He's got to have a strong dive.
Yeah, if Joey can't swim, I'd like to change my
Whales.
answer. If Joey jumps in and just sinks to the bottom and dies, that's not fair.
Oh, it'd be so funny to watch his ass like just slowly paddling along, and then Michael Phelps just comes in like a submarine. All right, that is episode 71.
What
You can follow us
weird
anywhere
episode.
at Shot of MS. This is what happens. I'm nervous for summer episodes. We're gonna have to get back in the snake drafts to get through them. But it's episode 71 at Shot of MS everywhere. Apple, Spotify, YouTube. It's where you can listen to the show. Please review, rate, subscribe, share it with a friend. And that closes us out for tonight. So with that being said, cheers to episode 71.
Cheers.
To the Tigers winning more than 5 football games. Last year, the Lions. I'm sorry. The Lions winning more than 5 football games. To Alex's face that he's making right now.
Just calculating how fast Joey Chestnut can eat 3 hot dogs. 36 seconds. He ate 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Elite.